I want to say hello, and I want to welcome everybody to a joint hearing of the for the purpose of public input before the joint House and Senate Reapportionment and Redistricting Committees. My name is Mitch Seabaugh. I am the chair of the Senate Reapportionment and Redistricting Committee. I represent the 28th Senate District, which comprises of Coweta County, most of Carroll County, all of Heard County, and northern Troup County. And so for tonight's meeting, I'll basically be trying to moderate this, so if you would please bear with me. You'll find out I'm not very good at pronouncing names, but that'll provide some entertainment for the evening. Would like to recognize the Columbus Public Library for hosting this meeting, and I believe we have Stephen Ferris with us. He's the branch manager here. Thank you very much for opening your doors and allowing us to be here. You can give him applause. Thank you very much. Appreciate the hospitality. We'd also like to say thank you to the citizens of Columbus for allowing us to come and to visit and have an opportunity to hear what's on your minds. Redistricting is a process that we have to go through every 10 years. Because of the Constitution and the one person, one vote principle, we have to go through this process every 10 years. So it's not something that we really relish. It's not something that we all look forward to. But in order to have districts that are in accordance with the law, we have to go through this process. The purpose of this meeting is for public input. And this is the public's opportunity. It's a little bit different than when you see legislators in other places. We're not here to do a lot of talking and grandstanding and all that. It's an opportunity for the public to come and to speak. So that we have plenty of time for the public to speak, we want to be very clear that because the purpose is for the public to have the opportunity to say what's on their minds. Members of the Joint Committee or other members of the General Assembly will not be engaged in answering questions or in dialogue. All that does is take away time from other people being able to speak. This is a step in the process, and if there are additional comments that you would like to register with either one of those committees, you can do that in writing. You can also contact your immediate senator or House member to tell them your input, because ultimately they're the ones that are going to be voting on these maps. So you also have the opportunity to go on the website that we have in order to make any other additional public comments. This meeting is being videotaped. We are posting all of the meetings that we have on our website. For those that want to know the website you can go to www.legis.ga.gov, and you can click on the link, and you will have the opportunity to look at all the public hearings that we have. So as we go through and have these hearings, they get posted on the website so that individuals can hear what was on the minds of other in other areas of the state. Hopefully you noticed that when you came in outside in the entryway, there are copies of maps. If you didn't see that, feel free at any time to go and to refer to any of those maps, and that may help with your comments. I would like at this time to recognize the members of the General Assembly who are basically acting as our host. Where's our microphone? If the members of the Columbus delegation would please stand and have the opportunity to introduce yourselves to everyone that's here. I know Representative Smyrie and Mr. Smith and Senator McCoon.
Representative Richard Smith, House District 131. Senator Josh McCoon, Senate District 29. Calvin Smyrie, House District 132.
David Buckner, House District 130. Carolyn Hughley, House District 133.
All right. Thank you very much for your hospitality. And now at this time, I'd like the opportunity for the members of the Senate Reapportionment Redistricting Committee that are here to please stand and introduce yourselves.
Vincent Ford, I serve the State Senate 39.
Okay, I know it takes time to get the microphone, but if we get the microphone that way, it's on the videotape so that we don't have a segment there that somebody was referring to where somebody's moving their lips and may not be able to hear it. The members of the House Redistricting and Reapportionment Redistrict Committee, if you could please stand and introduce yourselves.
I'm Sharon Bixby T, and I represent South Fulton County, Nevada, Atlanta Airport. Please introduce.
My name is Willie Townsend. I represent District 145, which is Warner Robins and Robins Airport Space. I'm Tom Dixon, House District 6, which is parts of Whitfield, Murray, and Catoosa counties up in the northwestern part of the state.
County and represent parts of Doherty, Worth, and Copley.
Representative John Yates, District 73. I live in North Spalding County, Clearton's county seat. Part of that county, part of Fayette, part of Henry's in my district. Good to be here.
And also, I want to interrupt that Representative Yates will be 90 years old this November and also is a World War II veteran. Thank you for your service.
I'm Henry Wayne Howard from Augusta, Georgia, District 121. That's Richmond County.
I'm Nikki Stevens from the pretty city of Georgia, Savannah, Georgia. I represent East Side Savannah, all of downtown, and all of River Street. When you go down on River Street, think about me. 161.
Good evening, I'm Ron Mayo. I represent House District 91, which is DeKalb and Henry counties.
Good evening also, I'm Lynn Smith, Representative Smith. I represent House District 70 from Newnan, Georgia. I have part of the western part of Coweta County and part of Hurd County, and thank y'all for coming.
I should have pointed out when I got to the House Committee at first to allow one of the officers of the House to introduce himself, so I will give Representative McKillop the opportunity now to introduce himself.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon. My name is Doug McKillop. I'm Secretary of the House Reapportionment and Redistricting Committee. I represent part of Athens, House District 115. Good to see you all tonight.
I would, at this time, are there any other members of the Senate that are here that didn't get an opportunity? I don't see them, but I just want to make sure. Other House members that we have that are here, they're not on the committee, but they're in attendance. We'll give the opportunity for them to introduce themselves.
Yes, I'm Randy Nix. I represent House District 69, which is parts of Troop Herd and Carroll County.
Okay, with that, for this meeting, I want to kind of how we're going to go through this. Again, if you want to speak, please go outside these doors and sign up so that we can call you in the name that you've signed up. What I will do is I will call out 2 names at a time. And that will be for someone to speak, and then the other person, that tells you who's on deck. So if you could come and work your way over in this area, so that as soon as the speaker gets done, you will have the opportunity to step up and to speak. That will help to save some time. What we have done in the other hearings that we've had, we have limited the time for every speaker to 3 minutes. We have a timer that's sitting right down here. So when you come to speak, I ask please listen to this, because this is videotaped, and there are at times individuals that want to get in touch with you, whether to answer questions, give you information, or whatever. So please introduce yourself by your name and where you are from. Right up front, if you would please identify that. Then you'll have 3 minutes to say whatever's on your mind with regard to the subject matter. The timer right there at 3 minutes will give you when your time is up, and we ask that you respectfully don't make it more difficult than it has to be about your time being up. Again, like I said, there's ample opportunity for you to submit in writing or in other methods to be able to complete your thoughts in doing that. So with that, we will begin. And on the list I have Jim Elkins and Andrea Brooks.
I'm Jim Elkins. I do not wish to say anything.
Okay. So, all right, Andrea Brooks and Jean Dugas. I knew I was going one way or the other. I was going to get that one wrong.
Good morning, good afternoon, Chairman, and to the Joint Committee. I'm Andrea Perlette Fuse Brooks. I am a fifth-generation Sumpter-Countian. I have attended the hearing in Albany, and I thought it would be wise for Sumpter County to be one of the citizens to give you pertinent information. Over the years, Sumpter County has been the split county. And I'm rising here to ask, I would like for this committee to work towards Sumpter County being placed in its full entirety in the district that it will be proposed for consideration. We would like also that you will consider fairness and citizen input even after these hearings. We are very aware that after the lines are drawn, we would like to see again what you have and then bring more information. And thank you for the time, and thank you for giving us this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Jean Dugas. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm a citizen of Muskogee County, and I have some concerns for the Reapportionment Committee. First of all, I urge you to honor the current Muskogee County district boundaries, to keep intact our communities of interest when you devise your reapportionment plan. This is very important, and I'm sure that you realize that, but I want to reinforce you in that thought. Along these lines, I also ask that you create a bipartisan citizen commission to guarantee protection for Georgia's 45% minority. We're still under the gun of the Department of Justice, and we need to pay attention to the problems that might occur if we do not pay attention to protecting our minorities in Georgia. I would also ask that you, before the legislature adopts this new map, that you provide your proposed map to the citizens of Georgia so that they may make a final comment for input into the process. I think that this is extremely important as well. You want to take into account the citizens of Georgia. We put you in office, and we want to hold you accountable. Finally, in conclusion, I urge the Reapportionment Committee to draw a fair map, one that does not advantage a particular party at the expense of Georgia voters. I thank you.
Thank you. Randy Phillips and John Van Dorn.
My name is Randy Phillips, and Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, I greatly appreciate the opportunity to speak before you. I served in the House during the 1971 and 81 reapportionment sessions, so I have a better understanding of what you might face than some of the others here might.
Could you say where you're from?
Shiloh, Georgia.
Thank you.
And everything I say will be part of the reapportionment debate that will be facing you this summer and next year. You can't take politics out of politics, but many interest groups are doing their best to take reapportionment and other governmental functions out of elected hands. Reapportionment is a responsibility of the General Assembly, and that is where it should stay. I hope the House and Senate never enact a law which puts reapportionment in the hands of some appointed commission which claims to make nonpartisan, objective decisions, but in fact would make political decisions which should remain in the hands of those elected by the people. Every time reapportionment arises, we hear cries of gerrymander. I hope the committee will see each of these forums, will use each of these forums to point out Supreme Court decisions require districts to have almost equal populations, and now with a computer they can require exact populations between districts. The U.S. Justice Department, under the Voting Rights Act, requires you, whenever possible, to create minority districts or supermajorities to ensure election of minority candidates. In order to comply with these mandates, over which you have no control, and other reasons too, districts are created which are oddly shaped and put communities that are not close at all in interest together. Take every opportunity in these forums to explain that to the public. Finally, the electoral process is under attack throughout our country by a number of interest groups seeking to end the majority vote requirements for elections. The Justice Department and groups like Fair Vote promote plurality and single-shot voting elections. With numbered at-large posts, their stated goals is to elect minorities. The federal motor voter law attempts to prevent local election officials from verifying the identity of voters, and some jurisdictions in this country want to allow non-citizens to vote in local elections. California has adopted the instant runoff to prevent runoff elections when no candidate gets a majority, because you have to vote for at least two people, and the one who gets the most votes is the one who wins. I urge the committee to support majority votes for all elections, preserve the runoff system, and resist any efforts to allow single-shot voting in any Georgia elections. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. John Van Dorn and Alton Russell on deck.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me? It's John Van Dorn. That's capital V-A-N, capital D-O-O-R-N, one of those unusual Dutch names. But despite that, I am a longtime resident of Columbus, Georgia. I'm delighted to have this opportunity to speak directly to you in this public forum. I really only have 2 points to make. If you have a fair group making the decision, then I think you're going to have a fair result. And the second point is, of course, the absolute importance of communities of interest. This is a principle that has been recognized by the Supreme Court and by most experts who look at the question of redistricting. On the first point, I do say I must say I have some concerns. The early reports are that the Joint Committee has jettisoned its association with the University of Georgia's Carl Vinson Institute, a very well-respected group. And that doesn't bode well. It appears that partisanship, partisan gerrymandering is going to take an upper hand. You could restore, I think, a lot of public confidence if you were to bring the University of Georgia back in, or an equally respected nonpartisan group. I think the trend around the country is many states are doing this to try to have people who really do understand all the complications of redistricting being part of that process. So I would urge the committee, I know you can't respond or won't respond here today, to either explain to us why you aren't doing that, or give us assurance that the types of nonpartisan principles, non-incumbent protection principles that have been utilized by past professional commissions will be a part of this process. So it gives me great cause, or great cause for concern, that the University of Georgia is no longer involved in this process, as they have been for many, many years. The second comment is basically about preserving communities of interest. As a previous speaker alluded to, this is a part of Georgia that has a long history, unfortunately, of voter disenfranchisement. We have a large minority community, and I think it is absolutely essential that no moves are taken that would dilute the voting strength. You know, in Texas and other areas that have done recent redistricting, that has been the quickest way that the Department of Justice has invalidated redistricting plans, is when it is clear that intentionally or unintentionally a minority voting strength has been cut by cutting across communities of interest. Also, other communities of interest, occupational communities like farmers and so forth, preserving the 2nd District on the federal level as it is today, preserving the local districts, the 133 and so forth in the House and the Senate side. All of that would help keep confidence that you are not trying to dilute voting strength. You're not trying to disenfranchise groups that unfortunately have been disenfranchised in the past. So bottom line is fairness in both process and in outcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Alton. Russell. And on deck is Reginald Pugh.
First, I just want to make sure y'all know that I had to move this microphone because you needed somebody tall up here. That's what I'm saying. First, I want to thank you for coming to Columbus, and I hope while you're here you'll spend some money, because you know we want you to spend your money, not tax money, and we'd appreciate that very much. And also thank you for coming to Columbus, for the citizens of Columbus in this area to participate in the process, very important process of redistricting. My name is Alton Russell. I'm a long-time resident of Columbus, Muskogee County. I also have the honor of being chairman of the 3rd Congressional District, which consists of 15 very great counties in Georgia. My concern today is the congressional districts. Today, Muskogee County is split into 2 parts: the south and downtown part of which is part of the 2nd District, which is about 57%, and the rest is in the 3rd, which is about 42%. I really don't see the south and downtown area having much in common with the rest of the 2nd District, which is, I guess, agriculture, and I just don't see downtown Columbus having much in common with Worth County and Terrell County, the peanut and the cotton folks that know what they're doing, which is the largest part of our economy in Georgia. I just don't see that there's any common interest there. Also, I think the difference in the communities of interest in South and downtown Columbus is not even related. So my request for you today is to consider putting all of Muskogee County in the 3rd. Now, I know this is a challenge as far as the numbers, but I believe, because I believe so much in the, don't believe very much in the counties being split in congressional districts, I believe that if you would work hard and accept that challenge and move some of the other split counties out of the 3rd and into the districts that are close to them, that it would take care of the numbers and also prevent and would make communities of common interest be together. I really appreciate the opportunity for you to hear my comments today, and again, thank you for being involved and coming to Columbus for us to participate. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Reginald?
Good afternoon. My name is Reginald Pugh. I'm the president and CEO of the Urban League of Greater Columbus. The Urban League is a community-based organization, and we're also a civil rights organization. We're one of 2 Urban League affiliates in the state of Georgia, one in Atlanta and here in Columbus. I want you to know that I spoke with numerous local citizens regarding the possible redrawing of lines and boundaries of electoral districts within the state. The recent 2010 census shows an increase of 1.90% in the Muskogee County population. That's very little, less than 2%. Therefore, I'm recommending that only needed change, or very little change, be made to our 2nd Congressional District, our State Senate Districts 29 and 15, and also our House Districts 131, 132, and 133. the minority population in these districts and this congressional districts, they should not be diluted. Thank you.
William Perry and Seth Hart.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is William Perry. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, the Executive Director of Common Cause Georgia, here today working with a group of organizations under the Georgia Redistricting Alliance, and those groups include Common Cause Georgia, the League of Women Voters, and Georgia WAND. We've been troubled at the end of May by a report that surfaced out of the roll call publication out of D.C. It basically says that Republicans are looking to take a route of bypassing the Department of Justice in the pre-clearance of the new congressional map and going in the direction of courts instead. I too can butcher names, so I'm probably going to do it, but the exact quote says that the consensus opinion down here among Republicans is that we're not even going to bother dealing with the Obama Justice Department, said Joel McCallahan, I think it is, a well-regarded GOP candidate campaign consultant in Georgia. I would be shocked if we even sent them an email letting them know that we passed a map. I think we'll just take it straight to the courts. I think, as you all know, that Georgia is one of the 9 states under the Voting Rights Act that is required to seek this pre-clearance, and certainly foregoing that and going straight to court will cost the state a lot of money. Most states do avoid the cost of litigation by going through the Civil Rights Division of the Justice Department in order to pre-clear the maps. Despite that report, I am encouraged by the things that many of you all have said already, that this process is going to be fair and that the districts are going to be fair. So I'm hoping that this report is false. And I note that today is certainly not the time in which answers will be given. But I hope there could be some kind of official statement, either from the members of the General Assembly or for the committees themselves, saying that this is not correct, that we will be seeking the pre-clearance under the law. Some of the quotes, including you, Chairman Seabaugh, I praise you for when you say that we'll have attorneys that are experienced with the with the pre-clearing process, and those attorneys will advise us of those maps, and in their opinion, will be legal. And then also going on at other times to say that the redistricting process will be conducted in accordance with the law and to the utmost integrity and fairness. I think certainly that avoiding the pre-clearance process would not be done fairly, would not be in a way that's in accordance with the law, and I think we should try to follow the law to the letter in this process, and I hope that you all not only consider that, but also going ahead and letting the citizens of Georgia know if it is your intention to skip the pre-clearance process or if you are going to follow the law. Thank you very much for the time.
Thank you. Seth Hart.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good to see you again. I'm speaking as a citizen of Muskogee County and as also chair of the Muskogee County Republican Party. The first significant process that we look at in any redistricting, and I have, as Senator Seabaugh and a good number of members of this committee have gone through that process and have been moved, butchered, pushed, contorted, and those same maps were created by the University of Georgia Carl Vincent Center. I commend you for not using the Carl Vincent Center because 3 courses of litigation, the federal courts finally drew the maps that the Senate is operating under today. They have drawn those maps for the 2000 cycle, the 90 cycle, and the 1980 cycle. I served as an officer in the state party in both of those times, and those were some of the most egregious gerrymandered maps in Georgia, number one. Number two, Muskogee County is a racially divided county. We have great race relations because we've learned to work together with one another, but the demographics of the county are pretty much centered around Macon Road. If you're south of Macon Road, you probably will vote Democratic, and you're probably heavily African American. If you're north, you will vote Republican, and you will be up there. We're ably represented by our representatives in the north and the south. But the simple fact is while we have had a population growth of 1% in terms of the state's population growth, we have not had growth. In fact, we have gone way down. Our three representative districts that are predominantly Democratic are all underrepresented, and the two minority districts are very underpopulated in terms of the redistricting process. It seems obvious to me that we will lose one of the House members. And it also seems obvious to me if you move the House districts that are majority districts and taking into northern Columbus areas, you will place in jeopardy the majority status, because those districts in turn will become far more in play and with the Republican populations of the north part of the county. I submit to you, and I thank you for your work, but I appreciate what you're doing. And I say this: please protect communities' interests. Please do it by the law, and don't get caught up in the gerrymandering that we went through in the 2000 cycle and the 3 stages of litigation with the federal courts. If we use the University of Georgia's logic, once again, we will find ourselves in the pits of gerrymandering, because that's exactly what they did, and that's what the federal courts threw out. The populations need to be deviated maybe no greater than 1% between the various districts, and when you do that, I think what I've said will probably take over. Thank you, Senator Seabaugh and Representative McComb. Good to see all of y'all. Thank you all.
Thank you. Jenny Ekman and Dr. Gordon Austin.
Hi, my name is Jeannie Ekman, and I'm speaking as a citizen of Harris County, and I also happen to be the chairman of the Harris County Republican Party. But I own property and have businesses in Columbus, Georgia. In the redistricting, I've looked at the map, I've drawn 2 or 3 myself and done the numbers, and there's 4 or 5 ways to go at it. But I have talked to a lot of people in Harris County, and if we need to go to the 2nd district, we're all willing to go there. We don't choose to go there, but if that's what happens, if Muskogee goes to the 2nd district, I think you should take Harris County with us, because we're such a close community. If Muskogee stays into the 3rd district, of course Harris County will, but we want you to look at us as part of Muskogee County also, because we're a bedroom community of Muskogee County. And so if you'll do that, but whichever way we need to go, if we need to be in the 2nd district, you won't get any problem from us.
Thank you. Dr. Austin.
Good afternoon. Gordon Austin. I'm here just representing myself and my wife, and I'll try to keep it short and pithy. Carroll County was split in a previous redistricting. In fact, my wife and I have a king-size bed, and I'm in the 3rd district, and she's in the 11th. That really isn't an exaggeration, but I am here to beg you to try to keep counties together, and specifically, Carroll County. When they split the county, our 2 congressmen said, well, you're very fortunate you'll have 2 congressmen instead of 1. And they have tried, but the proof is we used to have a congressional office in Carrollton, in our county, and now we don't. So the realities are, when you split a district, you do lose your representation. So we would very strongly advocate to keep Carroll County, and as much as possible, as many counties as possible, 1 district. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Is it Nadine Moore and Susan Stevenson?
Good evening. My concern is the 2nd Congressional District. We'd like for Muskogee County to be the 2nd Congressional District. Reason being, I heard tonight that Worth County was farm-based. Well, we have to realize that downtown Columbus there's a river that's part of the Department of Natural Resources, and they work very closely with the Department of Agriculture. And we're doing a lot of work on that river, and we should maintain the continuity. Sure, there are special interest groups in there, and you want to keep the majority, minority communities of interest, but what's more important is, at one time, downtown Columbus was a blighted area. The Community Development Block Grant money fixed up downtown Columbus, so that was the economic-based redevelopment. The same thing is happening down in Worth County. So let's maintain the continuity, and let's keep that within the 2nd Congressional District. I wasn't going to speak, but somebody wanted to go to the 3rd, so let's put it in the 2nd.
Susan Stevenson.
Yes, gentlemen. I'm here as a private citizen. I live in North Columbus, and I feel North Columbus is sadly underrepresented by being in Lynn Westmoreland's district. An ordinary citizen never ever sees Lynn Westmoreland unless he's running for re-election. I know far too many small business people who are in Lynn Westmoreland's district. They call him for assistance, they call him about problems, they get no help, they get no answers, they get lots of frustration, and they end up calling Sanford Bishop, who will help them despite the fact that these people are not in his district. The city of Columbus has worked very, very hard to become one community. And although we still do have divisions racially, economically, we are well on our way, I feel, to truly being one city. And I do not believe in my heart and soul that splitting this county is beneficial to anyone. This county needs to be one county in one district. And, as Lynn Westmoreland has a track record of not representing the ordinary citizen of this county, honestly, I'd prefer to be in Sanford Bishop's district. I run into him at events all over town. I can speak to him, I can get an answer from him, and I think that's what people of Columbus deserve. We need and we deserve real representation, and we're just not getting it from Lynn Westmoreland. So I would much prefer to be in the 2nd Congressional District, the entire county in the 2nd Congressional District, because this business of having the county in 2 separate congressional districts just isn't working for us. We deserve better. Thank you.
Thank you. Claudette Bolter. Did I get that correct? Close. You'll find this interesting that I grew up in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, and the name Seabaugh is the most common name in the phone book. There's more Seabaugh than Smiths. When I left, I found out my name's kind of hard to pronounce, so I understand its sensitivity.
I'll believe you. I'm from Harris County, and I'm here to speak on behalf of the Harris County GOP. Could you say your name correctly? Oh, I'm sorry.
So that
Claudette Bolter.
Okay.
Yep. But we've met and discussed what district with the changes, what we would like to see happen. And we would like to see Muskogee County be one county, even though we are not in Muskogee County. What happens with Muskogee directly impacts us. Like Jenny Ekman said, we're a bedroom community. Most of us commute into Muskogee County, and we have businesses here or work for businesses in Muskogee County. As far as Harris County, Lynn Westmoreland, that's the one part that we'd all be very sad to see, to not have Lynn Westmoreland be our congressman. He's been really great for us and has come out and seen us and attended to our needs and our questions, and we've met with him several times. So, but I would just like to reiterate that we'd like to see us all go into the 2nd district, and that's pretty much it. Thank you.
With that, I believe that all those who have signed up to speak have spoken? Can we see if there's anybody else that's signed up? Oh, I'm sorry, right here. I apologize. Earl Cheel. Thank you for helping me out there.
My name's Earl Cheel. I live in Harris County. I also have property in Muskogee County, and I'm a Republican. But I want to ask you, as representatives of us, to ignore the fact of Democrats or Republicans or independents, but let's look at this redistricting as an opportunity to make it right. And we need to look at it from a from a position of trying to make it so that it's fair and not for the power of one individual or another individual, regardless what party they're in. I've seen indications where the Republicans want to redistrict to make it more to their advantage, and I disagree with that. I think we need to do it independently so that it's fair. I do disagree with that woman that spoke against Congressman Westmoreland, because I think he's an outstanding representative of our community. And I have spoken on his behalf on many occasions because I think he does a tremendous job. But that's just the sideline. I just want to clear the record in that regard. But I just want to again ask you to do it on a fair basis and not take advantage of maybe the Republicans' power position to take advantage of it for that purpose. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. With that, that is all of those who have signed up to speak. I'm sorry, we open up that door, then everybody wants additional comment. You can submit your information in writing or on the website. If there's anybody else who wishes to speak, please go outside to sign up so that we can recognize you to speak. Is there any other members of the General Assembly that may have shown up since we allowed everybody to introduce themselves? Senator Harbison, you want to introduce yourself?
Senator Harbison, 15th Senatorial District. Thank you. And I'm a member of the committee.
Representative Jurgensen's here.
Good afternoon. I'm Sean Jurgensen. I'm from Cherokee County, District 22 in the House of Representatives.
Are there any other members of the General Assembly that have not introduced themselves yet? Okay, we have here's how we do this. We have advertised that we're going to be here from 5 o'clock until 7 o'clock, and we know that some individuals may be coming here from work or whatever. Since there's no one else that has signed up to speak at this point in time, we will take a break, and then we will come back. I got 5:44 right here. So let's just say that we will come back here at 6 o'clock. We'll come back at 6 o'clock to convene. And please, when I start hollering to please let everybody, if we have people that speak, please take your seats and so we give the opportunity for those who want to speak at that point in time. Again, if you want to speak, please sign up outside to make sure that we can get you on the list. So with that, we will stand in recess until 6 o'clock. Hey.
But I stopped at the Chick-fil-A in Sharpsburg.
Yeah, you had to. Hello, hello, hello. Can everybody hear me? Okay. Again, we just want to make sure everybody understands. If you'd like to speak, please sign up. Okay. Linda Harp. Could everybody please cease their conversations? Show us legislators how that's supposed to be done. Linda Harp and Tiffany Stacy.
I'm Linda Harp. I live in Midland, Georgia, and I'm speaking because someone asked me to explain to all of y'all what I was explaining to her. The reality we have here in Columbus is that we've grown by 1%. When you go to the metro area, you have counties that have grown by 800,000. Therefore, we will have a different representation. We have great legislators, but their districts have to change, and hopefully they can change so that they can stay representing us, but they're going to have to go out somewhere and get some more people, because what you do when you start this process is to take the population of the state of Georgia and you divide it by 56, and that's how many people have to be in a Senate district. Now, I think the state of Georgia has grown by 2 million in 10 years. I'm just using that for rough numbers. I don't know whether it's right or not, but we did some math, and I was amazed. That means every Senate district has to add 35,700 people in it in order to be an equal share. So what's going to happen is Senator Harbison has to add 35,000, Senator McCoon has to add 35,000. And what's really going to happen is you're going to start at the state line of Florida and you're going to push up. Because what's really happening is you draw a line from McDonough, east and west. 65% of the people of Georgia live north of McDonough. So those of us who love it around here are in the minority. There are really two Georgias. There's Metro Atlanta and there's the rest of the state. And so I just want you all to be aware of that's one of the big considerations. And that's the reason why this process is so difficult. But I do encourage you to keep communities of interest, because I remember the Senate district that my husband had to be elected in 2002, and 65% of the people were in Bibb, Houston, Lamar. I don't remember all those counties, but it was pretty crazy. We had a thread. We had one lane of a highway in Harris County that got him from one part of the district to another, from one precinct to another. And that's not a good way to draw a map. So good luck to you all. I hope you figure it out. And I just wanted to explain that to everybody. The other thing that's happening is we're going to get a new congressional district in Georgia because of our population increase. So.
Thank you. Tiffany Stacy.
Good evening. My name is Tiffany Stacy. I'm just a private citizen, originally from Chicago, but I live here in Columbus. I wasn't really supposed to be here. I just started following the crowd. I guess you can say, honestly, I guess you can say I have a romantic view of life. I had no idea how segregated we really were. And I'm not talking about race. I'm talking about numbers. As this wonderful woman was trying to explain to me, my face went blank. And do you know I've never walked outside my home and saw to Columbus? And then I hear people come up here and talk about north and south and this. Okay, I just want to say this. Regardless of what happens, please do what you do from your heart. I understand that people are concerned about votes and Republicans and Democrats, and I'm so sorry that you all got to put up with that. But, you know, I haven't gotten to the point to where I'm so numb to life. Now I'm starting to see the reality behind the lines. I look at everybody in this room, and if I need help, I'm going to come to you. I don't care what district you're in. And I think it's wonderful that Congressman Sandra Bishop helps that young lady, and that's the way it should be. We all helping each other, regardless what district you're in. I know I'm on my soapbox, but I want you all to remember that we're all one nation. If something bad happens, it affects all of us, not just district, or that district. But I will reiterate, let's be balanced, because fair can mean two different things. Try to be as balanced as you can. And for those of you in this room, please make the initiative to go out in your community and tell people about redistricting. Educate them, because this young lady blew my mind away. I had no idea. I heard it, but you don't really pay attention to it. I really didn't. And to be honest with you, I'm going to let you all know, it's affecting me emotionally, because I don't see a north and a south. And the fact that that gentleman came up and he spoke about Macon Road, I thought that was just a whisper. You mean you all know it too? But it makes me feel good, because what that says is on both sides of the road, people have the same concerns. So I want to thank all you all for coming out. Please educate people. I know this young lady's here and she's like, oh my God, people start shutting up. But they really need to know, so they can come up in your footsteps and do what you're doing, so they can be fair and balanced as well. Thank you so much.
Okay, I forgot, as always, there's something you forget, and I forgot at the beginning to ask everyone to please put your cell phones on the silent mode. And that way it won't be disruptive to those who are speaking. All right, Barbara Jackson and Abdul Kaysen. I get it right? All right, you're on deck. No, I got it wrong. Kaysen. You pass. You do not want to speak. Barbara Jackson.
Hi, I'm Barbara Jackson from Columbus, Georgia, and I would like to know who from our community serves on the Reapportionment Committee, and how is this person selected? And that's my only question.
Okay, thank you. You're all that's left to speak right now. You signed up. This is your opportunity.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I've been hearing, for the past,
Could your name and where
year
you're
or
from,
two.
please?
Yes, my name is Abdul Sabur Hassan, and I'm from Columbus. And we've been talking about redistricting, and I know from time to time when these things come up, we have to do something. And I'm of the belief, like the young lady said there, if we're going to do this, and you got to do this, then let us do it from our heart. And let us do it in the fairest manner that we can. And as always, when things happen, it just doesn't happen to me. I stay at 3551 Stratford Drive. When it rains, it just doesn't rain at 3551 Stratford Drive. It rains on the other neighbors also. And whatever affect you, it affect me. And I don't see not necessarily color. When I meet my fellow man and my fellow sister, all of you are brothers and sisters to me. And then let us be fair at whatever we do. Thank you. I think that would be it.
Thank you. Okay. Is anybody else signed up back there? We'll take this opportunity. Are there any other members of the General Assembly that are here that have not had the opportunity to introduce themselves yet? I know we have one. Where's the microphone? Gerald, could you grab that microphone, please?
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Judson Hill. I'm a senator. I represent part of Cobb County, most of the eastern part of Cobb County, and part of Sandy Springs, Georgia, and Metro Atlanta. I had the honor and privilege of chairing this committee for a couple of years, and got to hand it off to my right honorable chairman now, and y'all are doing a great job. But thanks for the opportunity to have us here and welcome us to Columbus. We look forward to getting to know you all better and doing this, creating these maps in a fair and way, as some of the people already mentioned. Thanks so much.
We just had another member of the House to walk in. Microphone, please.
Matt Dollar, I represent East Cobb County. Thanks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Senator Sims is here. I'm sorry, I didn't see her sitting.
Senator Frank Powell Sims, Southwest Georgia. I represent 8 counties, the largest of those being Georgia County. Thank you.
Are there any other members of the General Assembly that we have not given the opportunity for them to say hi yet? Okay, right now I'm being told that we have no other individuals who have signed up to speak, so we will take another break and see if we have other individuals. I have 6:12. Let's say 6:25. We'll come back at 6:25, and we'll see if we have any speakers at that point in time. Okay. Okay. Could I have everybody's attention, please? 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 All right. We still do not have anybody signed up to speak. It is 6:26, 6:25, and so we will take another recess. Is there objection from anybody in us taking a recess until 6:40? Is there objection from anybody to break till 6:40, and at that point in time we'll see if we have any other speakers? Hearing no objections, we will stand in recess until 6:40. Thank you. And if anybody wants to speak, please sign up. Hey, could I get everybody's attention, please? Could I get everybody's attention, please? We do have additional speakers. If I could get everybody's attention, please, so that we could be very respectful for those who are going to speak. All right, Matt Fuentes, and on deck will be Robert Patrick. Again, want to remind that we're giving everybody 3 minutes. We have a timekeeper down front to let you know when your 3 minutes are up. Please give your name and where you're from. Matt?
Hi, my name is Matt Fuentes. I'm from Columbus, Georgia. I just wanted to express that I feel that that we shouldn't really separate the community the way it is. I know there's a lot of people that live in Harris County that work in Columbus, and vice versa, and things like that. And I feel that whether we have to, raise the line and have Sanford Bishop intake Harris County, or whether we have to lower the line and have Westmoreland, either one is good. I just feel that one congressional district would be better for the community. Like I said, it is one community, Harris County, and Muskogee County definitely, is that one community, and that's really all I wanted to say.
Thank you. Robert Patrick.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the chance to express one specific concern. I am from Muskogee County. However, I grew up in Talbot County. In fact, I still call it home. In Talbot County, I would say that we are virtually one of the smallest counties in population within the state. However, we have 3 representatives from the House. 3. And to be as small as we are when it comes to population, I think that's far too many. And I think our interests could best be served if we had 1 representative. So if there's anything that you could do, possibly make a recommendation to that effect, I think would greatly serve the people of Talbot County. Thank you.
Okay, is there anybody else that wishes to speak? Anybody else wish to speak? I'm getting some nodding of heads like we're ready to go, but I'm sure that I would get criticized if we were to let everybody go early. I'm sure somebody would. I'm sure there's somebody that would definitely have a problem with that. Anybody else wishing to speak? Do I hear any objection that we go ahead and end this public hearing? Do I hear any objection to us going ahead and closing the public hearing? With that, I will turn it over to Representative McKillop for some closing comments.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On behalf of both the House and Senate reapportionment committees, I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. Your participation in the process has been very important and very beneficial to those of us on the committee as we look forward to beginning the process of drawing the lines and making the maps. Your thoughts are critical and crucial to us, and we appreciate everyone taking time out from their schedules to come and present us with the information this evening. Our schedule from here is Cartersville tomorrow night, so if you have any relatives or friends up in that area that you think it would be beneficial for them to come and give us their opinion, we would certainly appreciate that. And then finally, I'd like to point out that this is sort of the beginning of the process. This is our 6th public meeting out of 12. There's scheduled a special session to do the actual redistricting that doesn't begin until August 15th. Until that time, there are many ways to continue to participate, including contacting your local senator or representative. There's a website that the chairman gave you earlier that you can log on to and make written comments. And then once we get started on August 15th, we'll have committee meetings, maybe some joint, and then certainly I'm sure some from the House and some from the Senate that are open public meetings. And we encourage everyone who has continuing interest to come to those meetings and sign up and speak again and give us other information as we go through the process of developing the new districts for both the House and the Senate. With that, Mr. Chairman, I believe we are adjourned.